everyone, it's been a while. The last time I posted any update type videos was back in 2017 when I left working for Disneyland. And the last video I posted onto this channel was to wrap up our trip to Israel, and that was in 2019. When we came back from Israel, we found out we were expecting the day after shelter in place of the pandemic. We had our son in 2020. I thought, maybe now that we've had a little more time to really figure out how this parenting thing works, I should post a video about some baby gear. And I am totally bummed I did not post a video about Michael's reaction to when I told him he was going to be a father.
Aww. Wait, what does that mean? What? Oh my god!
Surprise! Oh. Also did not post a reaction video of our gender reveal.
I've been saying boy since the beginning.
I've been saying girl.
Okay, one of us is gonna be right.
Alright, let's go! I have a son!
Yay! Okay, so let me get right to it. First, I'm gonna give a quick opinion about diaper and wipe brands. I personally found that for diaper sizes newborn 1 and 2, we preferred Pampers Swaddlers. One of the reasons why is because there are yellow straps right here. When you have to put yellow straps on top of a white diaper, it's very easy to see very quickly. Huggies diapers we found had a white strap on a white diaper, and it actually made it real hard to see if you had pulled the correct strap off first. If you pulled the wrong one off, you might have completely broken the diaper, and when you wanted to throw the diaper out, you couldn't really ball it up very well into the diaper genie afterwards. After size 3 on diapers, we ended up going with Amazon's brand, the Mama Bear, and we ended up just using the subscribe and save for it, and we found that the diapers were cheaper and they still held pretty well. To each their own on diapers. You're gonna have to figure out what works for you. For wipes, the interesting thing about for us is that the pandemic was hitting around the time that he was about to be born, so we kind of didn't have much of a choice. What we noticed is that the cheaper wipes would dry up very quickly, and if you had to clean a poo at 2 in the morning for your baby, you might be using several wipes instead of just using maybe 2 or 3. So what I did notice is that the water wipes definitely had a little more juice in them to kind of clean that mess up in a couple of wipes instead of several. However, they are very, very thin, so I can see some people really thinking that, oh, these are such a waste of money, they cost a little bit more, why would you bother? I also found that Honest wipes, these are a bit thicker. It still kind of has that extra oomph to clean up baby's mess, and again, not using as many wipes as compared to the cheaper wipes. So it is up to you if you want to use the cheaper wipes because they do cost less, but you might end up using more. Or if you are willing to pay a little bit more for Honest and water wipes, they do cost about the same. It will, in the long run, help you not have to use as many wipes. Okay, so types of feeding systems and bottles. So if you are not exclusively breastfeeding and you're thinking about what bottle system to go with, the one that I personally liked a lot is the Kiinde feeding system. Some people pronounce it as Kiinde, but according to their website, they call it Kiinde. And why I like this is because they call it the twist pouches. And you can put your formula, or if you're able to pump, breast milk in it. They actually have a way that you can pump directly into these bags from your breast pump. After you heat it up, or if you need it right away, there's a little holder here, and it just goes to snap right in. You would take this top off, and then there's a bottle nipple that you would just pop on and feed the baby directly. I love that once you're done, you just throw out the bag and you wash the nipple, which is so awesome because you just don't want to keep washing a bunch of bottles. But something I do want to note is that these do add up over time. There is ways to save money on them, but they do add up. And these come in 6 ounces and 8 ounce bags. You're gonna want to make sure that your baby is drinking 6 ounces before you consider using this. Before we actually used these Kiinde bags, I was using the Dr. Brown's bottles and the Phillips bottles. We used those for a bit until he was finally able to drink 6 ounces. Sleepers and swaddles. Now for sleepers, what we found is that after size newborn, it's very difficult to find sleepers that have a little mitten cuff, as they call it. This is a sleeper that I have in a larger size than newborn, and there's a little cuff right here on the sleeve. And all you have to do is just fold it over, and now baby will not be scratching themselves when they go to sleep, or even when they're awake, they won't scratch themselves. So the funny thing about this is that Michael had said, is there a type of sleeper that has mittens attached to it so I don't have to keep putting baby mittens on his hands? And my response to that was, well, wouldn't everybody want to buy those? And sure enough, we found out we had some, but they are kind of difficult to find in sizes larger than newborns, so I would highly encourage to look for them, because we noticed that he just really enjoys that feeling of cloth on his hands. And we noticed that we didn't have to cut his fingernails as much, so that's already a pain to try to cut baby fingernails, because you never want to underestimate the power of baby nails. Alright, for swaddles, I personally found the Halo Sleep Sack Swaddle to be the best, and part of the reason why is because some babies do prefer their hands up when they sleep, some prefer them down, and sometimes they want one up and one down. So with this swaddle, what we found is that it kind of encloses like a regular sleep sack right here, and there's Velcro on both sides where you can put your baby's hands however you need. One of the cool things about this one as well is that when baby is past the age of swaddling, you can actually go ahead and just put this Velcro underneath baby's arms so that it can kind of function as a transitional sleep sack. Normally after babies are done being swaddled, they usually have a sleep sack anyway, just growing with your baby, that they're already swaddled in it, they're already used to it, and all you gotta do is just make sure that their hands are up and you put the Velcro underneath their hands so that they can get used to having it as a sleep sack. High chairs. Now, people like to get high chairs, some people prefer more of a booster seat, up to you. What I liked the most about the Stokke Trip Trapp chair is that it does grow with your baby. So I liked that you can use it as a baby seat when baby is starting to sit up, and then it kind of grows into being a toddler seat, and then it can actually become an adult chair after that. That is pretty awesome about it. It is very expensive, and they also try to sell you on getting a seat cushion, baby tray, there's even an infant attachment, and honestly, you really don't need any of those. I feel like it's more of a mess to clean up when there's more cushions to clean anyway. So just the baby seat part attachment itself is fine, and the actual chair. Baby baths. Okay, so you've heard me talk about the Stokke Trip Trapp chair. This is the Stokke Flex bath. The reason I like this one is because unlike your typical infant bath, insert here, it's removable. So that when baby is finally sitting upright, they can actually just go in the regular tub. And the best part, there's a heat sensor right here. This will turn dark purple if it's the right temperature for baby, and then it will turn more of a lighter purple if it's too hot, and it will stay black right here if it's too cold. So I personally just love how this bathtub grows with your baby, and it collapses really easily so that you can take it with you right here. And it was great for traveling, and just so that baby kind of just feels safe in the bathtub for as long as possible before you just transition to a bigger bathtub. Alright, last but not least, car seats and strollers. There's a bunch of different types of strollers and car seats to go for, but for my personal preference, I was looking for a good travel system where you have an infant car seat that can click onto the stroller. I chose the Uppababy Mesa car seat that is able to click onto the Uppababy strollers. So I went for the Uppababy Cruz stroller, and I also own an Uppababy Minu stroller. The difference between these two strollers, more or less, is that one is bigger, the Cruz, and the Minu is definitely more of a compact stroller. So a couple things to just really look for in a stroller is how compact do you need it? We own Prius cars that do not have a lot of space, so it was very nice to have a stroller that was smaller. How heavy it is, same thing. and how much storage is there, like in the baskets. The Minu is definitely a smaller basket stroller that barely fits a diaper bag, versus the Cruz has a much bigger basket for it. And another thing about the Cruz is that it evolves with your baby. So, you could start with just putting the car seat on top of the stroller, and then you can have the regular seat. Later on, when my son is a bit older, and he hopefully has a sibling, he can ride on the little piggy board that they have, like a kickboard. His sibling can hopefully be in the regular seat. So just those are some things that I was looking for personally, and I'm very thankful with those purchases. And I would just say the best thing to do when you're thinking about a stroller is to go to a place like Uppababy and just test them out for yourself and make sure you know how to fold them and unfold them. So I hope that this was helpful for any of you that were just thinking about what kind of baby gear is something to consider. The internet is going to tell you all kinds of things that you need, but everything I've mentioned here in this video is just what worked for me really well, and really hope that that is helpful for you. So congratulations on your baby, and I hope to make a couple more videos maybe in due time as my son gets older about the things that I'm learning and hopefully can pass on.